Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Walking Dead universe. This one's going to be doing another video for the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. We're going to be talking about what other countries are we going to be going to in Daryl Dixon, and how many more seasons do we think this show will end up having. So this is definitely a big question. This is a question that I think is very, very obvious after the end of Season 2, is that this show definitely has at least 2 more seasons left. However, I want to go into kind of a general prediction on how many seasons I think this show will go on for, and I would love to hear your predictions down below on how long you think this show will last. Now, the Walking Dead universe, as we've seen many times before, they have a tendency of dragging things out, right? We know that. So with that, kind of taken into the conversation here for a minute, I'm very curious to see how many seasons Daryl Dixon is going to go on for. Now, the first 2 seasons of this series took place in France, right? The first 2 seasons were in France, mostly French. It was, I'd say, really good. I liked Season 1 in France. I felt like Season 2 kind of dragged France a little bit. France was kind of a little overdone, I'd say, in Season 2, but I did like it for the majority of the time that it was around. I thought the location was definitely interesting, but I am also glad that we've moved on from there now, I will say. Now, Season 3, as we know, is going to be in Spain. Now, it is, but it isn't, because we're starting off with Episode 1, apparently in the UK. Apparently, they're in England. And then, from what I've heard, they take a boat that they think is going to America, but they actually end up landing in Spain.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
What were you going to talk to me about?
Well, I was just going to ask you about these hot dogs.
So they land in Spain, right? And then obviously we've got Spain that goes on for about a season. And from what I've heard, there are rumors that there is a Season 4 in, writing, and will probably enter production at some point next year. Now, here is when it gets interesting, because Season 4 is definitely a concept. They're trying to figure out where that's going to go next, which confirms us one thing, is that Spain is only 1 season, which I'm not going to lie, I think is kind of a good idea. Though I like the look of Spain, though I like the visuals of Spain, I think it looks relatively cool. At the same time, I will also admit that I feel like that location, just like France, would get old after a little while. You know what I mean? Now, I can't confirm this because I don't know 100% for sure, but I've heard rumors that Dead City, which we know Dead City's doing it, we don't know about Daryl Dixon, could be an 8-episode season. Now, if Daryl's Season 3 is a 8-episode season, that would make sense, because then we would have more episodes in Spain, and that's why it would only be 1 season. Now, I don't know that. Daryl's Season 3 could still be only 6 episodes. That we'll just have to see. But I know that, at least for Dead City right now, we're getting, 8 episodes for Season 2. So they are going further in the plot, and they are, doing more, which is, exciting for sure. Now, Season 4, we know, is going to be filming in a different location. We know it's going to be in a Middle East country. We don't know where specifically yet. I'm predicting Egypt, but again, we'll have to see. I just feel like Daryl Dixon going to Egypt is something that this show would do, but again, we'll have to see. I feel like Season 4 is going to be in Egypt, and I think that'll probably go on for a season or 2 as well, which will lead us probably into a Season 5. Woo! Now, anywhere past that is where I'm kind of wondering, what we're going to get. Now, if you want my honest take, and I don't think this is something that a lot of people are going to want to hear, I feel like this is something that's going to discourage a lot of the Walking Dead fans that want to see Daryl get back home, which I know I want to see Daryl get back home. I know a lot of you guys want to see Daryl go back home. As long as AMC doesn't cancel them, which is always something we have to put into consideration. But as long as AMC doesn't shut down this show, I honestly could see this going for at least 6 to 8 seasons, which I know sounds ridiculous. Trust me, man, I know it sounds ridiculous. But that is honestly what I'm thinking that they're aiming for. I don't think they have plans to go home for a good while. I really don't. And that is just absolutely just terrible. I mean, it's terrible. We will definitely not have Daryl back home, at least until 2030. We'll see if I'm right, but mark my words, Daryl will not be home at least until 2030, in our real life time. Probably in the timeline of this as well, too. I don't know timeline-wise where this takes place, but I'm telling you right now, Daryl will not get back home at least until that time. Now, like I said, That is really, really just terrible, on their end. It really is. They're dragging it out. That's what I think this will get, is 6 to 8 seasons. Now, in terms of some of the countries, like I said, I think season 4 will be Egypt, maybe even season 5. And I feel like we'll at least get 2 to 3 other locations before Daryl goes home. I would not be surprised, but at the rate that they're moving right now, if we get an Australia season, I would not be surprised if Daryl goes to Australia. And maybe even potentially they bring him to, I don't know, maybe Russia they could. They could bring Daryl to Russia. I don't know, man. It really feels like they could just go absolutely anywhere. Barcelona, they could go to Barcelona. I don't know. It feels like Daryl is going to at least be going to some of those locations for the next little bit. That's why I say 6 to 8 seasons is kind of the range that I'm thinking this show will go on for, which, again, not what I want personally as a fan, but it's what we're getting. So that's at least my predictions. That's where I stand on this whole subject for now. We'll see where it goes, of course. We'll see what we get out of this, but that is kind of my general thoughts. Post comments down below, of course, guys. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe and don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Be sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for Daryl, Dixon. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies need a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.